Okay, so we just went through the statement of Grashof's law earlier. So Aparna, 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 Aditya Tiwari,
Yes, sir.
Aditya Tiwari. What is Grashof's law?
Grashof'S Law. Yes, sir. I don't know.
You don't know. Haripriya, Haripriya.
Yes, sir.
What is Grashof's law?
Grashof'S law,
Hmm,
ഷോർട്ടസ്റ്റ് ലിങ്കും
hmm,
ന്റെയും ലോങ്ങസ്റ്റ് ലിങ്കിന്റെയും ലെങ്ത് സം എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്
hmm,
മറ്റ് രണ്ട് ലിങ്കിന്റെ
hmm.
ലെങ്തിന്റെ സമ്മിനെക്കാട്ടിലും കുറവായിരിക്കണം.
Okay, okay. Somehow you manage the correct thing. Okay, then so look at the statement. Okay, so I hope you are able to see the screen also, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, കാണാം.
Okay, okay. So Grashof's law statement is Grashof's law states that for a planar four-bar mechanism, sum of shortest and longest links, sum of shortest and longest link must be less than or equal to sum of the length of two other links in order to have a continuous relative motion. So here longest link length that is your L, small letter L. Shortest link length that is your S. So S plus L should be less than or equal to P plus Q. S plus L less than or equal to P plus Q. That is called Grashof's law. And the four-bar chain which satisfies Grashof's law, that is called Grashof's chain. Four-bar chain which satisfies Grashof's law, it is called Grashof's, and which does not satisfy, it is called non-Grashof's chain. Okay, and based on Grashof's law also, we can name the mechanisms. Based on Grashof's law, you can name different mechanism. For example, consider the figure A. Consider the figure A. Look at the figure A. Go through it. Figure A. There you can see one shortest link S, longest link L. Likewise, you can see. And if in such a mechanism, S plus L is less than or equal to P plus Q, it satisfies your Grashof's law. S plus L less than or equal to P plus Q. That means it satisfies Grashof's law. And any one of the link which is adjacent to the shortest link is fixed. So in figure A, we are assuming that that four-bar chain satisfies Grashof's law. Grashof's law satisfy ചെയ്യും. In addition, the link which is adjacent to the shortest link. Only look at the figure A. Figure A. Link which is adjacent to the shortest link, that is fixed. Link which is adjacent to the shortest link. Midun,
Yes, sir.
figure A, which is the link which is adjacent to the shortest link?
L,
L,
Q,
Q. So here which link is fixed?
Q.
Q. Okay. So that is the concept. Okay. In figure A, we assume that S plus L less than or equal to P plus Q. That means Grashof's law is satisfied, and also the link which is adjacent to the shortest link is fixed. In such a condition, crank rocker mechanism is obtained. Crank rocker mechanism is obtained. crank rocker mechanism. So there are different mechanisms based on this Grashof's law. One is crank rocker, next is double crank, and third is double rocker mechanism. So first one is crank rocker. So in order to have a crank rocker mechanism, the 4-bar chain must satisfy Grashof's law, condition number 1. Condition number 2 is the link which is adjacent to the shortest link that should be fixed in that case. So that is all about figure A, and it is termed as crank rocker or crank lever mechanism. Next you look at the figure B. Figure B. Figure B. Here, can anyone tell what will be the type of mechanism in figure B? Figure A is crank rocker mechanism. Figure A is crank rocker mechanism. Can anyone tell what type of mechanism will be figure B? Figure B ഏത് type mechanism ആയിരിക്കും? Figure A is crank rocker. Why? Because S plus L less than or equal to P plus Q, and one of the link which is adjacent to the shortest link is fixed. So both the conditions are satisfied, hence it is crank rocker mechanism, figure A. What about figure B? Anyone?
Sir, BU അത് തന്നെ ആയിരിക്കൂലേ?
Yes, B. Very good, Vivek, very good. B യും അത് തന്നെ ആയിരിക്കും. Because all this case we are assuming S plus L less than or equal to P plus Q. And you know, it is clear from the figure, L and Q are the adjacent link to the shortest link S. So in the previous figure A, the link which is adjacent to the shortest link Q was fixed. And here, the link which is adjacent to the shortest link S, that is your L, is fixed. Both L and Q are the links which are adjacent to the shortest link S. So both belong to crank rocker mechanism. Now you look at the figure C. Look at the figure C. There you can see our first condition is satisfied. We are assuming the first condition. That means Grashof's law is satisfied and shortest link is fixed. Here the link adjacent to the shortest link, it is not fixed. The shortest link itself is fixed. That means it belongs to double crank mechanism. Double crank mechanism. So ആദ്യത്തെ രണ്ട് ഫിഗറിൽ കണ്ടത് crank rocker mechanism, where the link adjacent to the shortest link was fixed. Here shortest link itself is fixed in the figure C. That is called double crank mechanism. Double crank mechanism. And third one, last case, there you can see the link which is opposite to the shortest link is fixed, P. In the figure D, concentrate only on the figure D. There you can see the link which is opposite to the shortest link, that is fixed. So that is called double rocker mechanism. Okay, ഒന്നുകൂടി പറയാം. First two cases, link adjacent to the shortest link is fixed. So crank rocker mechanism. Also it satisfies Grashof's law. C means shortest link itself is fixed and it satisfies Grashof's law. Double crank mechanism. And last case, the link opposite to the shortest link is fixed. That is your double rocker mechanism. So go through this. See here you can see the explanation. Inversions of your Grashof's chain. That means Grashof's chain means the 4-bar chain which satisfies Grashof's law. That is called your Grashof's chain. And you can see the different inversions. Crank rocker or crank lever, when the link adjacent to the shortest link is fixed. Double crank, when the shortest link itself is fixed. Then next is double rocker, when the link opposite to the shortest link is fixed. Okay, so based on this we will solve simple problems in order to understand your knowledge in this sort of portions. Grashof's law, when it is asked as a 5-mark question, also if you get the concept, means you can easily draw and explain by yourself once you get the concept. So for better understanding, we are discussing the problem. Okay. So you can see the question is, in a 4-bar mechanism, fixed link AD is 110 mm, input link AB is 75 mm, coupler BC is 100 mm, follower CD is 90 mm. Identify the mechanism. So mechanism is given. Mechanism is given. You can see the mechanism. Okay, you can see that figure. Right side, down side, right part, you can see the figure. So can anyone, by looking at the figure, can anyone tell what type of mechanism will it be?
Crank rocker.
By looking at the figure, it is clear it is a crank rocker mechanism, but we have to calculate. What we have to calculate? Whether it satisfies Grashof's law. Grashof's law satisfy ചെയ്താൽ മാത്രമാണ് നമ്മൾക്ക് crank rocker, double crank, double rocker എന്നൊക്കെ പറയാൻ പറ്റുള്ളൂ. So first thing is you have to find out S plus L and P plus Q, whether S plus L is less than or equal to P plus Q. What is the value of S plus L? S plus L means shortest link plus longest link. Shortest link, by looking at the figure, it is very clear the shortest link is your 75 and longest link is your 110. So S plus L will be, value will be, anyone? Value will be
195.
185. What about P plus Q?
190.
190. That means 185 less than 190. It satisfies Grashof's law. So that is the first thing you have to do. Okay. You have to find out whether it satisfies Grashof's law or not. So it satisfies Grashof's law. Okay. It satisfies Grashof's law. So next thing is you have to find which type of mechanism it is. For that, the link which is adjacent to the shortest link is fixed. Link which is adjacent to the shortest link is fixed. So which type of mechanism it is?
Crank rocker alle sir.
Crank rocker mechanism. Okay. Crank rocker mechanism. Any one of the link which is adjacent to the shortest link is fixed. Therefore, the given mechanism, it is called crank rocker mechanism. Crank rocker mechanism. Okay, crank rocker mechanism. Now, see, you look at the figure, next exercise. Once you get this concept, we will wind up today's class. Once you get the concept, means you should understand, all the 49 should understand. That is my aim. Okay, so once you get the concept, you are thorough with this, we will wind up the class. For that, we will do that example 1.1. So first you do not calculate anything. You just look at the figure, all the figure, M1, M2, M3, M4. Okay, all of you look at the figure. Look at the figure. Look at the figure. Archana IB. Archana.
Sir.
Archana, look at the figure M1. M1. Without any calculation, okay, can you tell which type of mechanism it is? Without any calculation. Double crank. Why you are telling it is double crank mechanism?
Adil shortest link fixed aanu.
Shortest link is fixed. Okay. Then Archana, what about M2?
The crank rocker mechanism.
Why you are telling it is crank rocker mechanism?
Shortest link adjacent nu parayunnathu fixed aanu.
Okay, crank rocker mechanism. Then what about your M3?
Adum crank rocker mechanism.
M3 is also crank rocker mechanism. Why crank rocker mechanism?
Shortest link in adjacent link nu parayunnathu fixed aanu.
Fixed down. Okay. Then what about the last one?
Double rocker mechanism.
Double rocker mechanism. 100% sure. So this is Archana's answer. Okay. Archana kandupidicha answer aanu ee parnadella. Okay. Suppose it is 10-mark question. Archana will do all the other calculations and all. Suppose it is 10 mark question. Archana won't get 10 out of 10. There is one mistake. Can anyone identify? Anyone who can identify that one? There is one mistake, only one mistake.
Sir, M3 Grashof'S law satisfied.
M3, your name?
Deepak.
Yes. Look at M3. Look at M3. In M3, you can see S plus L. That value, S plus L എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞിട്ടുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ sum of shortest and longest, S plus L, that will be 8 plus 15, 23. Whereas your P plus Q, that value will be 10 plus 12, 22 only. So your S plus L will be greater than P plus Q in case of M3. S plus L will be greater than P plus Q in case of your M3. So what happens is, it does not satisfy Grashof's law. Grashof's law satisfy ചെയ്യില്ല. അപ്പോൾ അതിനെ വിളിക്കുന്ന പേരാണ് നോൺ ഗ്രഷോഫ് ചെയിൻ. Non-Grashof's chain. And another concept is, a non-Grashof's chain can form only one type of mechanism, that is double rocker mechanism. അതിൻ്റെ അർത്ഥം Grashof's law satisfy ചെയ്യുന്ന മെക്കാനിസത്തിനെ we will call it as Grashof's chain, and it can form either double crank, double rocker or crank rocker. But if it does not satisfy Grashof's law, we will call it as non-Grashof's chain. Non-Grashof's chain. And a non-Grashof's chain can form only one type of mechanism, that is your double rocker mechanism. Double rocker mechanism. So one by one we will discuss. So look at the figure A, M1. M1, just look at the figure A, M1, and solve by yourself. Shortest link, you can see the shortest link length, it is equal to 5, and longest link length, that is equal to 10. And other two link lengths, you can see P is equal to 8 centimeter and Q is equal to 9 centimeter. Okay, so find out S plus L and P plus Q. Do it. S plus L and P plus Q. So you will get your P plus Q value as 17 and S plus L as 15. Okay, 15 less than 17, and the shortest link is fixed. Therefore, the mechanism is double crank mechanism. Double crank mechanism. Okay, Vivek.
Yes, sir.
Vivek, what about second case, M2?
Sir.
What about the value of S plus L?
Sir, S plus L will be 17.
17, then P plus Q?
Will be 19.
19. Okay, then what type of mechanism?
It is also crank rocker mechanism.
Crank rocker mechanism. Why? Because the link adjacent to the shortest link is fixed. Okay, link adjacent to the shortest link is fixed. Then next one, M3.
Sir, M3 satisfy ചെയ്യുന്നില്ല.
സാറ്റിസ്ഫൈ ചെയ്യുന്നില്ല. അപ്പൊ എന്ത് പറയും നമ്മൾ സാറ്റിസ്ഫൈ ചെയ്തില്ലെങ്കിൽ എന്ത് പറയും?
അത് നോൺ ഗ്രഷോഫ്സ്
ചെയിൻ. ചെയിൻ. പിന്നെന്താ പറയാ, ഒരു കാര്യം കൂടി പറയൂലേ, നോൺ ഗ്രഷോഫ്സ് ചെയിൻ. Can form non-Grashof's chain can form only one type of mechanism, that is double rocker mechanism. Okay, then what about fourth one? Fourth one S plus L.
Sir, S plus L 23.
23. Then P plus Q.
22.
P plus Q 22. Fourth one.
Fourth one, sir. Sir, a figure ഒന്നുകൂടെ കാണിക്കും. Sir, okay. Sir, S plus L 15.
15.
P plus Q 17.
17 centimeter. So
S plus L is less than P plus Q.
uh,
Grashof's law satisfy ചെയ്യും.
uh,
പിന്നെ ഷോർട്ടസ്റ്റ് ലെങ്തിന് ഓപ്പോസിറ്റ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള ലിങ്കാണ് ഫിക്സ്ഡ് ആയിരിക്കുന്നത്. അപ്പൊ അതുകൊണ്ട് അത് ഡബിൾ റോക്കർ ആയിരിക്കും.
double rocker mechanism. Okay, good, Vivek. Okay. So this is the answer. You complete now itself. Write like this. First, you have to note down all the S, L, P, and Q values. Then calculate S plus L and P plus Q. Then you have to write like this. Since S plus L less than P plus Q, shortest link is fixed. Here you have to add one more line. Since S plus L less than P plus Q, Grashof's law is satisfied. Grashof's law is satisfied. It forms a Grashof's chain. Likewise, you have to add here. Okay, here you have to add. See, there you have to add like this. Grashof's law is satisfied and it belongs to Grashof's chain. Okay. There you have to add here after completing S plus L less than or equal to P plus Q, you have to add like this. Grashof's law is satisfied and it belongs to Grashof's chain. Here also you have to add the same thing here also. The same thing you have to add here also. S plus L less than or equal to P plus Q. Grashof's law is satisfied and it belongs to Grashof's chain. Here you have to write S plus L greater than P plus Q. Therefore, it is a non-Grashof's mechanism. There you have to write it does not satisfy Grashof's law. Likewise, you have to add here. Okay, you have to add here. Therefore, the mechanism is a non-Grashof's mechanism, and it can form only double rocker mechanism. Okay, double rocker mechanism. It can form only double rocker mechanism. This is very important, double rocker mechanism. Here also you have to add it. Grashof's law is satisfied. Here the last one, Grashof's law is satisfied and it belongs to Grashof's chain that you have to add.
ഹലോ സാർ.
Hello.
സാർ ഒരു ഡൗട്ട്. ഈ ഡബിൾ റോക്കർ മെക്കാനിസം ഗ്രഷോഫ്സ് ലോ സാറ്റിസ്ഫൈ ചെയ്താൽ മാത്രല്ലേ?
അല്ല, ഡബിൾ റോക്കർ മെക്കാനിസം ഗ്രഷോഫ്സ് ലോ സാറ്റിസ്ഫൈ അതായത് രണ്ട് ചെയിൻ ഉണ്ട്. ഗ്രഷോഫ്സ് ചെയിനും നമ്മൾ നോൺ ഗ്രഷോഫ്സ് ചെയിൻ എന്നും കൂടിയും പറയും. ഗ്രഷോഫ്സ് ചെയിൻ ആണെങ്കിൽ അവിടെ 3 ഇൻവേർഷൻസ് ആർ പോസിബിൾ. ക്രാങ്ക് റോക്കർ, ഡബിൾ ക്രാങ്ക്, ഡബിൾ റോക്കർ. ഇനി നോൺ ഗ്രഷോഫ്സ് ചെയിൻ ആണെങ്കിൽ നോൺ ഗ്രഷോഫ്സ് ചെയിനിന് ഈ 3 മെക്കാനിസം ഫോം ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റില്ല. ആകെ ഒറ്റൊരു മെക്കാനിസം മാത്രമാണ് ഫോം ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുള്ളൂ. ദാറ്റ് ഈസ് ഡബിൾ റോക്കർ മെക്കാനിസം. So whenever it does not satisfy a planar mechanism, whenever it does not satisfy Grashof's law, it forms only double rocker mechanism. No need to find which link is fixed, which link is not fixed, or which link opposite to the shortest link, or link which is adjacent to the shortest link is fixed. No need to find that. Whenever it does not satisfy Grashof's law, it forms non-Grashof's chain. And non-Grashof's chain, it can form only one type of mechanism, that is double rocker mechanism. Okay. Okay, hope it is cleared.
സാർ പക്ഷെ ഈ ഡബിൾ റോക്കർ മെക്കാനിസം എന്ന് പറയുമ്പോൾ അവിടെ ഗ്രഷോഫ്സ് സാറ്റിസ്ഫൈ ചെയ്യണമെന്നില്ല അല്ലേ?
ഇല്ല, അതാണ് പറയുന്നത്. 2 ചെയിൻ ഉണ്ട്, ഗ്രഷോഫ്സ് ചെയിനും നോൺ ഗ്രഷോഫ്സ് ചെയിനും. ഗ്രഷോഫ്സ് ചെയിനിൽ പോസിബിൾ ആയിട്ടുള്ള 3 ടൈപ്പ് ഇൻവേർഷൻസ് ആണിത്. ക്രാങ്ക് റോക്കർ ആവാം, ഡബിൾ ക്രാങ്ക് ആവാം, ഡബിൾ റോക്കർ ആവാം. ഇനി നോൺ ഗ്രഷോഫ്സ് ആയിട്ടുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ, നോൺ ഗ്രഷോഫ്സ് ചെയിൻ ആയിട്ടുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ അതിന് ഡിഫറെൻറ്റ് ടൈപ്സ് ഓഫ് ഇൻവേർഷൻസ് പോസിബിൾ അല്ല. ഇറ്റ് ക്യാൻ ഓൺലി ഫോം ഡബിൾ റോക്കർ മെക്കാനിസം. ഡബിൾ റോക്കർ മെക്കാനിസം മാത്രമാണ് ഫോം ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുള്ളൂ.
ഓക്കെ സാർ.
So whenever you, while doing problems, when you identify the mechanism does not satisfy Grashof's law, that means immediately you can write it as a double rocker mechanism. No need to further find out which link is fixed. Likewise, no need to investigate on that question. You just write it forms only. Since it does not satisfy Grashof's law, it forms non-Grashof's chain, and it can form only double rocker mechanism. So if it satisfies Grashof's law, you have to find which link is fixed, whether the shortest link is fixed, or the link adjacent to the shortest link is fixed, or the link which is opposite to the shortest link is fixed. That you have to identify only when Grashof's law is satisfied. Okay, I hope you will be able to solve this type of questions for your mid examination and all. These are very simple things. Okay, any doubts? Anjana PS. Anjana.
Yes, sir.
Anjana, what is the condition for double crank mechanism?
ഷോർട്ടസ്റ്റ് ലെങ്ത് ഫിക്സ്ഡ് ആയിരിക്കും.
Shortest link fixed ആയിരിക്കും. Then
ലിങ്ക്
then another condition is shortest link is fixed. Answer is not complete. ഷോർട്ടസ്റ്റ് ലിങ്ക് ഫിക്സ് ചെയ്താൽ മാത്രം അത് ഡബിൾ ക്രാങ്ക് ആവോ?
ഓപ്പോസിറ്റ് ലോങ്സ്റ്റ് ലിങ്ക് ആയി.
അതാണോ കണ്ടീഷൻ? സി അഞ്ജന, ഷോർട്ടസ്റ്റ് ലിങ്ക് ഈസ് ഫിക്സ്ഡ്. സപ്പോസ് എസ് പ്ലസ് എൽ ഈസ് ഗ്രേറ്റർ ദാൻ പി പ്ലസ് ക്യൂ. അപ്പൊ നമുക്കതിനെ ഡബിൾ ക്രാങ്ക് എന്ന് പറയാൻ പറ്റുമോ?
ഗ്രഷോഫ് ലോ സാറ്റിസ്ഫൈ ചെയ്യണം.
That is the first thing. Okay, so first condition is it should satisfy Grashof's law. Then next is the shortest link is fixed. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay. Then Anusha. Anusha,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
how will you obtain a crank rocker mechanism?
Sir, it must
What are
obey
the
Grashof's
conditions?
law. It
It
must
should
obey
satisfy.
Grashof's law.
Then
Then the link adjacent to the shortest link is fixed.
link adjacent to the
To the
shortest link is
shortest link
okay.
fixed.
Link adjacent to the shortest link is fixed. Then Murfa Hanan,
Yes, sir.
how will you obtain a double rocker mechanism?
ഫസ്റ്റ് ഗ്രേഷോഫ്സ് ലോ ഇതാകണം, സാറ്റിസ്ഫൈ ചെയ്യണം.
Then
പിന്നെ
next condition,
ലിങ്ക് ഓപ്പോസിറ്റ് ടു ദ ഷോർട്ടസ്റ്റ് ലിങ്ക് ഫിക്സ്ഡ് ആയിരിക്കണം.
link opposite to the shortest link should be fixed. Okay. Then Murfa,
യെസ് സർ.
any other condition?
ഇത് രണ്ടാണ് എനിക്ക് കിട്ടിയത്. ഇത് നെറ്റ് എടുക്ക പോയി.
Net എടുക്ക് പോയി. So
ലാസ്റ്റ്
next, okay. Musammil K.
Sir, non-Grashof's law.
Non-Grashof's chain. That means it does not satisfy Grashof's law.
അവരും ഡബിൾ റോക്കർ മെക്കാനിസം അല്ലേ കാണിക്കുക?
Double rocker mechanism. So that is the case. Okay. So remember these things. So whenever this question, Grashof's law, it is asked as a 5-mark question. You have to write the statement. Okay. Write the statement. Grashof's law for a planar mechanism. Likewise, you have to write this statement. That is important. So statement is very important. You have to write it. Okay, when it satisfies. So first thing is you have to write the statement, then draw the diagram, then write all the equations concerning, and then you have to explain about the inversions. Point number 1, crank rocker. Then point number 2, double crank, and point number 3, double rocker. Also, you have to mention this important note. When S plus L greater than P plus Q, then the chain is called non-Grashof's chain, and a non-Grashof's chain can form only one type of mechanism that you have to write. So it can be asked as a 5-mark question. Okay, very important thing. So you note down this one as very important. Grashof's law. I hope all are clear with the Grashof's law. Suppose it is asked for your mid examination, you all need to score 5 out of 5. Okay, that much simple thing, very simple thing. With the help of example, I think you are able to do all these things related with Grashof's law. Okay. Okay, then your attendance, Vivek.
യെസ് സാർ.
What about today's attendance?
സാർ വാട്സപ്പ് ചെയ്തിരിക്കാം.
നോക്കിയിട്ടില്ല എല്ലാവരും?
നോക്കിയിട്ടുണ്ട് സാർ.
Okay then, thank you all.
താങ്ക് യു സാർ.